Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel, and in this session we are going to discuss another problem on accounting for non-profit organization. Okay, in my previous videos we have already discussed income and expenditure account, receipts and payments account, and one full problem which also includes balance sheet. Okay, but in this question, so we are going to prepare income and expenditure account, then we'll also prepare opening balance sheet and then closing balance sheet. Clear? If you want to watch the previous videos, you can check in the channel's playlist, or you can get it at the end of this video. Okay, so let us start with today's problem. Following is the receipts and payments account of Indian Sports Club. Prepare income and expenditure account, balance sheet as on 31st December 2016. So basically in question, they have asked us to prepare only closing balance sheet. But we need to prepare opening balance sheet as well, which is nothing but the balance sheet at the beginning of the year 2016, because we need to find out the capital fund. Okay, we want capital fund to prepare the closing balance sheet. So capital fund can be found out only by preparing the opening balance sheet. In certain cases, in certain questions, opening balance sheet will directly be given, along with that receipts and payments account will be given. But if opening balance sheet is not given, then we have to prepare that to find out the capital fund. Okay, so first of all, let's start with preparing income and expenditure account. Now, there are two very important points which you need to remember. That is, first is in income and expenditure account, we need to take only current year transactions. Okay, only current year transaction needs to be taken. And second point that we need to remember is only revenue nature transactions should be taken, or revenue nature items should be recorded in income and expenditure account. Now, what does revenue nature items means? So it could be expenses or incomes which occur again and again during the course of business. Okay, like we have salary, so we have to pay salary every month. It is revenue in nature. It's an expense, so it's my revenue expense, right? Then I will get interest on bank deposit every month. I will be getting interest on bank deposit. Okay, it is revenue in nature. I'm purchasing a machinery, so I'll not purchase machinery like very oftenly, very regularly, right? As and when required, I'll purchase it. It's not regular. Okay, it is my capital expenditure, right? So we need to remember only the transactions or items which are in revenue nature should be recorded in income and expenditure account. Okay, so receipts and payment account is given in the question. So with the help of this, we need to prepare income and expenditure account. But before that, it is very important to point out what all adjustments are given. Okay, so we'll do one thing. So what adjustments are given relating to which items, will put a star mark there, so we do not miss any adjustment here. Okay, first adjustment is given relating to subscription. Okay, so subscription related adjustment is there, put a star mark here, right? Then second adjustment is given to related to locker rent and salary outstanding. So let's find where is locker rent. Okay, here. Then salary, right? Then next adjustment is given as buildings depreciation, I guess. Yes, so where is building here? Okay, so building value is like building opening balance is given in the adjustment itself. Okay, then furniture related adjustment is the depreciation. So we can assume that depreciation itself is an another adjustment. So don't put a star mark here. Now, so let's start with preparing the account. So this is the format of the account. So expenditures on the debit side and income on the credit side. Clear? Only current year transaction needs to be taken. So remember that. Now, first let's start with the receipt side of the receipts and payment account. First, we have balance brought down, which is nothing but cash in hand. Okay, or you can also assume cash in bank. Okay, so it's the opening balance of cash. Clear? So this should not be taken. Cash is my asset, right? We only need to take expenses or incomes in income and expenditure account. So we'll take we'll take the opening balance of cash when we'll prepare the opening balance sheet, not here. Okay, so just leave it. Then we have subscriptions. So we know for an NPO, subscriptions are regular income. You can say they are revenue income for an NPO, right? So subscriptions rupees 52,000 and year is not mentioned. A particular year for which the subscriptions are received is not mentioned. So we are considering that are received for the year 2016 itself, which is our current year. Okay, 52,000 rupees. So receipts, it's my income, right? Receipts in the sense I'm receiving certain amount. So it's my income. So take subscriptions on the income side. Subscriptions. Amount given is 52,000. There is a star mark. It means we have certain adjustment. That is why take the amount in the inner column first, right? So now let's have a look at what is the adjustment relating to subscriptions given. Okay, subscription outstanding was on 31st 12 2015 rupees to 1200 and rupees 3200 on 31st 12 2016. Now here the dates are very important. Okay, specifically the years are very important. See, 31st 12 2015 in the sense the last day of the previous year, which is our current year. Our current year is 2016 here. Okay, we have subscription outstanding at the end of previous year, correct? So we can say this is the opening of the current year. The last day of the previous year will be the first day. You can say it's the first day of the current year. So if we have a subscription outstanding related to previous year, okay, if we have related to previous year, then I need to deduct this, right? I need to deduct this amount. Subscription rupees 1200 should be deducted. So outstanding at the beginning. Okay, outstanding at the beginning rupees 1200 should be deducted. So now what the amount I am having is rupees 50,800. Okay, it's 50,800. Then back to question. So again we have subscription outstanding at the end of the year, right? We have subscription outstanding at the end of this particular. So it means that it's related to current year. Okay, so during 2016 I had to receive certain subscription. Still I have not received it. Subscription is my income, right? So it's my outstanding income for the current year. So I will add it now. So outstanding at the end. Okay, outstanding at the end, it's rupees 3,200. So total subscription income from subscription is 54,000 rupees. Here it's 54,000 rupees. Okay, so subscription related is done. Basically, you have to remember any income or expense which is related to previous year should be deducted, and any income or expense outstanding to current year should be added. Then subscription system. Then we have life membership fees. Okay, so as the name itself suggests, it's life membership fees. So once in a lifetime, we can say we are receiving it. It's not very regular. Okay, it's not very, you can say it's not revenue in nature. Clear? So somebody is taking a membership for lifetime. Clear? So they'll pay a lump sum amount at once. So this type of fee, membership fees, is not revenue in nature. So we'll take this in the balance sheet, not in the income and expenditure account. Then next we have entrance fee. So whatever items are done, we can just tick them, right? We have entrance fees. Now this is regular or this is revenue income, right? Whenever people enter into our NPO, we need to pay, we will be collecting certain entrance fee. So this is a revenue income for an NPO. So there is no star mark here. So directly put the amount 3,200 in the income side. Income from entrance fee. Rupees 3,200. No adjustments given here. Then next, entrance fee is done. Then ticket. Okay. So then we have tournament fund, right? So if you can see in the payment side, there is another item relating to tournament, which is tournament expenses, right? So these tournament fund and tournament expenses are related. Okay, so there will be certain items related in you can say receipts and payments account, or even they might be related to balance sheet. Okay, so these we'll do one thing. So we can put an symbol here so that we can identify that they are related items. Okay, now tournament fund, again, it's not revenue in nature. Okay, so when we are conducting any tournaments, only then we will be receiving the tournament fund. Okay, it's not revenue in nature, so we'll take this in balance sheet. Okay, not now. Then we have locker rent. So locker rent is the revenue income for an NPO. So there is also a star mark here. Let's see what is the adjustment. First of all, write down locker rent rupees 1250 in the inner column because we have an adjustment. So adjustment is locker rent outstanding on 31st 12 2016. Sorry, it's not 6, it's 2016, rupees 250. Again, this adjustment is related to current year, right? I need to receive certain locker rent, so I have not received it yet, rupees 250. So it will increase my income. So outstanding at the end of the year. Okay, outstanding at the end, rupees 250. So in total, my income from locker rent is rupees 1500. Okay, then next, come back to question. We have sale of old sports goods. Okay, so its cost is how much? Its cost is rupees 2200, right? And out of that, we have sold the same goods for how much? Rupees 2500. Now we need to analyze whether we have gained due to sale or we have faced any loss due to sale. Right? Cost of the goods, sports goods was 2200. So we are having profit on sale of sports goods, right? Cost was 2200. We sold it for 2500. So we are getting a profit of rupees 300. So it's my income, right? We'll write it as profit on sale of sports equipments, or you can write sports goods. Rupees 300 is my profit, correct? Then, so this is done, ticket. Locker rent is also done, ticket. Then we have sale of old newspapers, right? So again, it's a regular. We are getting newspapers regularly. So we also have to sell the outdated newspapers. So it is my revenue income, rupees 750. Sale of old newspapers, rupees 750. Clear? Then back to question. Then we have legacy. So legacy is a kind of will. Okay, it's a will. So it's not an revenue income for an NPO. We'll take this in balance sheet, not here. Okay, so ticket. Here, this is done. Now come on the payment side, right? So let's record certain expenses here. First, we have salary, right? It's my revenue expense. Every month I need to pay salary to my employees. It's an revenue expense for NPO, right? So 11,000 rupees is the amount given. Along with that, there is a star mark here. So the adjustment relating to it is salary outstanding on 31st December 2016, rupees 100, right? So it's my expense, salary is my expense. So, and it is related to current year. 2016 is my current year. So still I have expense of 1000. I need to pay still more salary. So we can take it as salary. Rupees 11,000 is already my expense plus outstanding at the end of the year. Outstanding at the end of the year is 1000 rupees. So in total, my expense out of salary is 12,000 rupees for the year 2016. Next given is electricity charges. Okay, again, I need to pay regularly my electricity charges. It's my revenue expenditure. right? 5,500. There's no adjustment relating to it, so as it is. Electricity charges, rupees 5,500. Then back to question, we have billiards table. So it's a game. Okay, it's a kind of game. So again, we will not purchase this. It's an asset for an NPF. So assets we do not purchase every day, right? It's not my revenue expenditure here. It's my capital expenditure. We'll take it in the balance sheet. Then we have office expenses, rupees 4,100. Yes, office expenses are revenue expenses, right? So there is no star mark relating to it. So take it in the expenditure side. Office expenses, 4,100 rupees. Then back to question, we have printing and stationery. Again, these are my revenue expenses, rupees 2,300, right? Printing and stationery. Okay, 2,300 rupees. Then back to question. Okay, so these things are done, right? Now we have tournament expenses. Okay, so again, as I told you, tournament fund is my capital income. So tournament expenses are also my capital expenses. So we'll deduct tournament expenses from tournament fund in the balance sheet, not in the income and expenditure account. Okay, so just leave it. Then we have repair of ground. Okay, now repairs are regularly occurring. We need to maintain, we need to repair our grounds. Okay, so it's my revenue expense, 2,000 rupees. Repair of grounds, rupees 2,000. Then back to question, this is done, ticket. Then we have furniture purchased, which is obviously my asset. We'll take it in the balance sheet, not here. Then we have sports equipments, they are also my assets. Okay, we will not purchase them regularly, so we'll take it in the balance sheet. We have cash in hand, cash at bank, both are my assets. Okay, so we'll take it in the balance sheet again. Then we have fixed deposit. It's my asset, right? I have kept certain deposits with the bank on 1st October 2016 is given, right? At the rate 10% per annum. So now remember one thing. So wherever the date or wherever the percentage like rate of interest is mentioned for any asset, then it's not given simply. Okay, there it has a meaning. So basically it means that I am getting 10% interest per annum on my fixed deposit. Clear? So basically they are telling us that we are receiving certain income here, we are receiving certain interest here. See, this adjustment is not directly given in your adjustments or additional information, but it is indirectly given. I told you. So any percentage, any date, or any extra amount given in the question, it is not given without any reason. There is a reason for it. So if I have kept certain deposits in the bank, then I am receiving certain interest. Here, it's my income. So I'm receiving 10% per annum on 30,000 rupees. But I have deposited amount on 1st of October. So from October to December, I will be receiving interest, right? So how we can do it? We can take it in the income side because it's income. I'm receiving the income. Okay, I'm receiving the interest, which is my income. So interest on fixed deposit, 30,000 is the amount of fixed deposit multiplied with 10% is the rate of interest per annum. Okay, and it is deposited on 1st of October. So from October to December, October, November, December, 3 months. For 3 months, I'll be receiving the interest. So 3 by 12. So I'll be receiving 750 rupees as interest on fixed deposit. Clear? Then, so this is done. Everything from receipts and payments account is completed. Now, once you need to go through the adjustments, or you can say additional information. Remember, so basically all the adjustments or additional information once appear in income and expenditure account. Okay, first adjustment is already taken. Subscription outstanding at the beginning of the year is also taken. At the end of the year is also taken. Okay, so just leave it. Then we have locker rent outstanding is already taken. Salary outstanding is also already taken. Then we have, okay, so our club is having certain assets at the beginning of the year on January 1, 2016, in the sense beginning of the year, right? So club is owning certain assets. Okay, so club has buildings of rupees 36,000, furniture of rupees 12,000, sports equipments of rupees 17,500, and depreciation charged on these items at the rate 10 percentage, including purchase. Okay, so see, assets we will never take it in income and expenditure account. We know that, right? But we need to take the depreciation. Depreciation is revenue expense, right? It is, we have to charge depreciation every year. It's regular. So we need to charge depreciation on these assets in the income and expenditure account. Clear? So first we have buildings. So building, we have building at the beginning of the year, and during the year we have not purchased any building. Okay, check receipts and payments account. Have we purchased any building during the year? No. So we have buildings of rupees 36,000 at the beginning of the year. So we'll charge depreciation on that. Buildings, okay, 36,000 at the rate 10 percentage per annum. So 3,600 rupees is the depreciation from building. Then we have furniture, rupees 12,000. Okay, we had furniture at the beginning of the year, which is 12,000 rupees. And during the year, we have also purchased furniture, which is rupees 7,700. Right? So now what we need to do, we need to total both of this. 12,000 is the amount of furniture I already had, plus, so during the year I'm still purchasing 7,700 rupees of furniture. In total, 19,700 rupees furniture is purchased. On this, okay, on this, we need to charge the depreciation. So furniture, okay, if you want, you can mention 12,000 opening balance of furniture plus during the year purchase 7,700 is equal to 19,700 multiplied with 10 percentage rate of interest. No, sorry, 10 percentage is the rate of depreciation. Okay, which is 1,970 rupees. Clear? Okay, next we have sports equipments, okay, 17,500, and again during the year we have purchased certain sports equipments also. We already had 17,500 sports equipments at the beginning of the year, and we again purchased sports equipment worth rupees 12,000 during the year. So again we need to add both of these. So sports equipment, okay, 17,500 plus 12,000, which will be how much rupees? 27,000. No, 29,500. Okay, at the rate. Then, okay, once again, we have another one thing here. Okay, out of our sports equipments, we have sold certain sports goods, or you can say sports equipments. We have sold certain goods here, okay, which costed rupees 2,200. Now we need to deduct 2,200 from this amount. Minus 2,200. Okay, so now what will be the amount? It will be 27,300 rupees. On this, we need to charge 10 percentage as depreciation. Clear? So at the beginning of the year, we had certain amount of sports equipments. Then during the year, we have again purchased certain amount of sports equipments. Okay, and during the year, we have also sold certain sports goods, or nothing but sold certain sports equipments. Here, so final sports equipments at the end of the year will be 27,300 rupees. On that, we need to charge 10% depreciation, which is 2,730 rupees. Clear? This is clear. Then what else do we have? So, okay, depreciation also is taken on all the items, right? Everything relating to income and expenditure account is completed. Now we have to total both the amount columns. Okay, so credit side is bigger here. Total of credit side is rupees 60,500. Okay, 60,500, and the balancing figure here is 26,300 rupees, which we call it as surplus. Okay, what does it means? So it means my income is more, or credit side is bigger than the expenditure side or debit side. Income is more than my expenditure, that is why it's called as surplus for an NPO. Okay, this will be transferred to capital fund in the balance sheet. Okay, or you can also write this is excess of income over expenditure, rupees 26,300. Okay, this is my surplus. I hope it's clear up to income and expenditure account. So next thing we need to prepare is the opening balance sheet, right? So as I already told you that opening balance sheet we need to prepare to find out the capital fund. In certain questions, so opening balance sheet will directly be given, and in certain times we need to prepare it by ourselves. So how to prepare this, right? So if you see the question properly, there will be certain assets and liabilities given at the beginning of the year. We need to consider only the items which are given at the beginning of the year. We need to mention them in the opening balance sheet, right? So first of all, we will be having balance brought down. Okay, it's not specifically mentioned that it is cash or bank. Okay, so let's treat it as cash at bank only. Okay, we'll treat it as cash at bank. This is the opening balance, right? Balance brought down in the sense opening balance, okay, which is 7,890 rupees. Now cash at bank is my asset, so we'll take it in the asset side. Sorry, cash at bank, rupees 7,890. Right, then back to question. This is done, tick. Okay, then other than that, what all opening balances are given in the question? See, in the first adjustment, we have subscription outstanding on 31st 12/2015. So the end of the previous year will be the opening of the current year, right? So we have subscription outstanding. This is my income. Subscription is my income. I need to receive it. Rupees 1,200 will take it on the asset side. So subscription outstanding rupees 1,200, or you can also take it as outstanding subscription. Clear? Then what else? Any expense is given at the beginning of the year? No, sorry, no expense, no income is given. Then we have certain assets. On January 1st 2016, the club has owned certain assets, right? Club was having 36,000 rupees as buildings 36,000 rupees. Then back to question. Furniture rupees 12,000. Now remember one thing. You should not take the amount of furniture purchased during the year. Okay. The amount of furniture purchase which is given in receipts and payment account, it is during the year. At the beginning of the year, the firm had furniture of rupees 12,000. So we need to take only 12,000 rupees as furniture here. Furniture 12,000 rupees. Clear? Then back to question. Along with that, firm also had sports equipments of rupees 17,500. Again, you should not take the purchase and sale of sports equipments, only take the opening balance of sports equipments, which is 17,500. So sports equipments 17,500 rupees. Clear? Then back to question. Okay, so all these things, right? Only these things are given. Okay, Other than that, we do not have any opening balance given in the question for any asset or liability or any expense or even incomes. Here, so just to total all this, so the total of these will be 74,590 rupees, as it is 74,900, sorry, 590 rupees. Okay, so same will be the balancing figure, 74,590. Now this balancing figure, we call it as capital fund. This is called as capital fund. We need to find out this. For finding this, we have prepared the opening balance sheet. Now this will be used in the closing balance sheet. Okay, you can mention this is a balancing figure. This will be transferred to the closing balance sheet. Here, in the opening balance sheet, we have taken only the opening balances of assets and liabilities. No opening balances of liabilities are given. So we have taken all the assets, even the income. Now at last we need to prepare the closing balance sheet. Okay, so for preparing this, we need to refer the question from the beginning. Whatever the items are left now should be taken in the closing balance sheet. Right, so first of all, we have life membership fees, which is 2,200 rupees. Okay, so we will take it in the balance sheet, closing balance sheet liability side. No, before that, okay, before that, first of all, you need to take the capital fund amount. Okay, capital fund amount. Right, so capital fund we have already found out, right, which is 74,590 rupees. Clear? In this, you need to add if we have any surplus, or if we have any deficit, then we need to deduct it from the capital fund. So in this question, from the income and expenditure account, we have surplus, right, which is 26,300 rupees. Right, let's check it. Yes, it's 26,300 rupees. Okay, then in this we should add the items which are left in the receipt side of receipts and payment account. Like we have life membership fee, capital incomes, right? We have okay, we have legacies, right? Then we have okay, tournament fund is a separate thing. So first let's take life membership fees 2,200 and legacies 37,500. So we need to add them here. This is surplus. Life membership fee is how much? Rupees 2,200, and add legacy. These all are my capital incomes. So 37,500 rupees. So total capital fund will be 1,40,590 rupees. Clear? Then back to question, check what is left in receipts and payments account. We have tournament fund, which was 26,000 rupees. So in the liability side, tournament fund. Okay, take the amount in inner column because there is an item related to it. We have a symbol here, symbol of ice cream, which means there is another item related to it. So tournament expenses rupees 18,500 rupees. Okay, so we need to deduct our expenses from the fund. So tournament expenses 18,500 rupees. 7,500. So you must be having the question that all these are my receipts, right? Life membership fee is my receipt, legacy is my receipt, tournament fund is my receipt, right? Then why we are taking it as a liabilities in the balance sheet? Correct? You must be having this question. So all this, you can say life membership fees, legacies, okay, whatever receipt, income we are receiving in an NPO. So they are not for the personal use. We have a liability to use it for the benefit of society, right? Are you able to understand like how capital is the liability for the business, for an profit earning organization? Here we are receiving certain amount from the public, which we need to use it for the benefit of society. Okay, so it's not the amount which is to be used for ourselves. It cannot be our assets. Okay, so that is why we will take it in the liabilities side. Now this is done. Now come back to receipts and payments account. Everything from receipt side is completed. Now we have on the payment sides. Okay, so what is left here? Billiards table is left. I told you billiards table is my asset. So no adjustment relating to it. Directly we'll take it to the asset side. Billiards table. Okay, it's 17,500 rupees. Then back to question. We have tick this. It's done. Okay, tournament expenses are also done. Ticket. We have furniture purchased. Okay, so along with furniture purchased, right, we also had certain furniture at the beginning of the year. Okay, so total now furniture is how much? Furniture, we had 12,000 rupees at the beginning of the year, plus we purchased 7,700 rupees of furniture. Okay, so in that we also had depreciation, right? We had depreciation of furniture, which was 1,970 rupees. Now in total my furniture balance is 17,730 rupees. Clear? Then back to question. This is done. We have sports equipments again. So we have already done a working note. Okay, we have done a calculation in the income and expenditure account. Sports equipments purchased during the year is 12,000. In the beginning of the year, we have certain sports equipments of 17,500, and we sold certain sports equipments which costed rupees 2,200. Okay, so in total, now my sports equipments are, okay, sports equipment 17,500 in the beginning, 12,000 purchased during the year, 2,200 sold during the year. We also have depreciation, which was 2,730 rupees depreciation. In total, 24,570 rupees. Clear? Then back to question. This is also done. We have cash in hand, cash at bank closing balances. Okay, so we will take this cash in hand, cash at bank as it is. Both are my assets, cash in hand and cash at bank. Amount of cash in hand was rupees 12,690 and cash at bank was 10,000 rupees. Then back to question. Okay, these two are done. Now we have fixed deposits. Okay, fixed deposit is my asset. We know that it's my asset, 30,000 rupees. Along with that, we also are getting certain interest. Remember, I told you for any amount or percentage or date given in the question, it's not unnecessarily given. So we are receiving certain interest, which is 10% per annum, but we are receiving only for 3 months. So along with fixed asset, fixed deposit rupees 30,000, we also need to add the interest. So fixed deposit 30,000 plus our interest was rupees 750. So in total 30,750. Okay, is my fixed deposits now. Then back to question. This is also done. Now basically from receipts and payments account, all the items are completed. Remember, all the items from receipts and payments account should be taken only once. Whether you take it in income and expenditure account, whether you take it in the opening balance sheet or closing balance sheet, right? All the items from the account should be taken only once. And all the adjustments, if you are preparing income and expenditure account, opening balance sheet and closing balance sheet, then mostly all of them will appear in all the three accounts. If you are preparing only income and expenditure and balance sheet, closing balance sheet, then every adjustment should be taken twice. Okay, it should be taken twice. So let's check whether all the adjustments have been taken in the closing balance sheet or not. Okay, we had subscription outstanding at the beginning. This is taken in the beginning opening balance sheet, so leave it. We have subscription outstanding at the end of this year also. It's my receipt, it's my income. So again, we need to take it once again in the closing balance sheet. So we can take it as outstanding subscription 3,200 rupees. Then this is taken 2 times, leave it. Locker rent outstanding. So again, it's my receipt for the current year. Okay, it's my asset. Rupees 250 rupees I should receive more. So outstanding locker rent. Rupees, how much it was? 250. Then back to question. This is also done. Salary outstanding. Now this is my expense. I need to pay salary during the current year. I have outstanding salary, which is my liability. It is 1,000 in the liability side now. We can take it as outstanding salary, rupees 1,000. Clear? Then back to question. So we had opening balances of the assets which were taken in the opening balance sheet. We had depreciation on these items. So all these depreciation are also charged along with their items. Clear? So everything from the opening or closing balance sheet is also completed. Now at last we need to total and check whether the closing balance sheet tallies or not. So total on both the sides is 1,49,090 rupees. Okay, so it tallies 1,49,090 rupees. Yes, it's tallied. So this is how we prepare the final accounts of an NPO. Okay, so and yes, if you like this particular video, then please hit the like button. You can also share the video with your friends. Okay, for more such videos, subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you all in my next videos. Till that, happy learning.